A proud supporter of this program, Riverbend Food Bank's vision is a hunger-free Iowa and Illinois.
Whelan Presley Funeral Home and Crematory has been serving Quad City families since 1889. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes are located in Rock Island, Milan, and Reynolds and are proud supporters of WQPT.
Is Illinois turning its back on some of the real jewels of the state and making a marketplace much more as it revitalizes one of our neighborhoods in the cities? Mercado on 5th is becoming more than a marketplace. It could be a very different destination point in the cities. We'll talk with the new director in a moment, but first, priorities. Illinois has serious budget problems, which means money needs to be cut. Investments may be delayed. New funding sources must be found. But is it coming at the expense of our state parks and historic sites, places that should be open to all? And joining us is Todd DeDecker, who's the administrator of the Bishop Hill Heritage Association. Thank you so much for joining us. You just issued an open letter asking for help and pointing out the problem. Why?
Well, for the Bishop Hill State Historic Site, their spending needs have not been met over the last few years for obvious reasons, because of the budget impasse and budget cuts. And it's starting to show when it comes to the repair and maintenance of some of the buildings.
Well, let's talk about that, because Bishop Hill being some of the historic buildings are dating back to, help me out here, 1848, 1850 in that area?
Very good, 1848, 1849. We have 18 pre-Civil War buildings in Bishop Hill. Some are owned by individuals, some are owned by private organizations like the Heritage Association. Some is owned by the state of Illinois and run by the Bishop Hill State Historic Site, which is an arm of the DNR. Mm-hmm. And over the years, historic restoration, historic buildings need repair, and it's expensive repair. But over the years, there have been cutbacks at the Bishop Hill State Historic Site in terms of staffing, in terms of time, in terms of money. And some of the buildings, especially the Boys Dormitory and the Colony Church, which is the most historically important building, is starting to show some wear and tear. And it's one of those situations where you don't want to delay maintenance now and then down the road, like what's happening with the Rock Island Courthouse, you have to decide whether or not you're going to demolish it. Mm-hmm. If you do the repairs now, you don't have to make that decision later on, and it saves money in the long run.
Well, let's talk about Bishop Hill in particular, because as you pointed out, it's a state historic site, which means it does get state funding, but it also has a number of patrons that are giving private financing. A lot of people might be saying, well, should we not depend more on that rather than the state?
And they have been giving to these private donors and foundations. The Bishop Hill Heritage Association in the past 7 years, through these donors, have raised almost $1.5 million to do restoration work on 4 buildings. And then the individuals who own buildings, the Campbells, the Ellises, the Johnsons, the Old Settlers Association have been doing work on their buildings recently. State Historic Site has not because of funding cuts. Mm-hmm. We're just asking the state to step up and join the rest of us in keeping Bishop Hill Colony alive.
Dollars and cents, how much would that be, do you think, that you would be requesting from the state? Or would you try to make it some kind of a campaign that perhaps that there's matching donations or some way that there's a funding mechanism, the mechanics of a fundraising effort that would accomplish your goals?
It depends on how much work you want to do there. I mean, the Bishop State Historic Site owns the Colony Church, the Boys Dormitory, the Village Park, the Bjorken Hotel, and the Bishop Hill State Museum that holds the Crayons paintings. And each of those places all need repair and fixing. So I guess it depends on, just like anything else, what your priorities are and how. I mean, you could spend easily over $1 million doing all the repairs. Mm-hmm. But we also understand that everyone needs money. We just want them to start prioritizing, and when they make their project lists, don't forget about Bishop Hill.
Well, and Todd, what you had pointed out also is that you had noticed that in the area there are other sites that are also requesting money. So it's not a case that you think Bishop Hill is necessarily being singled out?
Not so. I mean, other places like the Ronald Reagan House in Dixon, Starved Rock, the Lincoln sites, they all are starting to make their cases about needing funding. And it's one of those situations that if we don't speak up and show that we care about our site, about the history that involves there, we're going to get lost in the shuffle. Because on some of those sites, they're going to get their money. I mean, Starved Rock, they have 2 million visitors a year. They're going to get some money. we're the land of Lincoln. The Lincoln sites are getting some money. But don't forget about all the other historic sites, like Bishop Hill, that also need funding to keep their history alive. Because we're not only a state historic site, we're a National Historic Landmark. There's only a little over 2,000 of those in the entire nation. And it's because of our impact on immigration. We're not just a Swedish community. We're an immigration success story. We had these people who left everything behind, went out into the wilderness, and built Bishop Hill from scratch, with 18 of the colony buildings still remaining today.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Sell the site, and this was back in the 1840s. This was supposed to be a utopian religious society, which is, when you think about it, the founding of America in the 1600s and early 1700s was very much religious freedom and kind of an independent spirit as far as some of these religious groups. And in our area, Bishop Hill is the most significant version of this.
Right.
Because you also think of, if you're going to continue this discussion, is that you could look at Nauvoo in Illinois, which is also a historic site, being of such importance to Mormons, Latter-day Saints as well.
Yeah, but it's not just a Swedish site for us. It's something that most Americans in their family history had a immigrant story as well. So a lot of people, not just Swedish, not just local, I think can relate to Bishop Hill. In the past year, we have visitors from all 50 states in 22 countries, including Argentina, Australia, Thailand, Japan. It's because not just a Swedish connection, don't get me wrong, we get a lot of Swedish visitors. Bishop Hill is a big thing in Sweden. But it's also, I think people can relate to this immigration story. They can relate to going to Bishop Hill and seeing what the best of Americana looked like back in the 1850s.
Let's talk a little bit about what's going on, because the holidays, of course, is a big time for Bishop Hill. You've got the Christmas market. I'm not even going to try to pronounce, if you don't mind.
You'll mark not.
Thank you. The Christmas market is November 29th, 30th, December 1st, the 7th, and 8th. What does the holidays mean for Bishop Hill?
For us, for Yule Mark Not, and then later on Lucia Nights, it's a chance for us to show the area our Swedish roots. We have different festivals during the year where we show Swedish roots and rural roots. This is our Swedish one, where when people come to Bishop Hill, they can see Swedish Christmas decorations, Swedish Christmas gifts, Swedish folk characters like the Tomte, which are Swedish Christmas elves, the Christmas goat called the Julebak. It's a chance for them to get a taste of what Christmas is like in Sweden. And then when you throw in Lucia Nights there on December 13th and 14th, it's our big nighttime festival, our only nighttime festival, where you have sidewalks lined with candles, every window has a candle, free music, free food, Lucia girls passing out treats. It's the biggest holiday, one of the biggest holidays in Sweden, and we try to show that Swedish aspect as well with our Lucia Nights.
And like you said, Lucia Nights is December 13th and 14th. Right. This is really a major part as far as Bishop Hill's holiday celebration. I mean, you want anyone to come out and take a look at this.
Yeah, anyone can come out and enjoy Bishop Hill. Bishop Hill is unique in that we don't have cookie cutter stores or restaurants. We have potters, we have broom makers, we have rag rug makers, we have an artist common where they make handmade jewelry and do concerts. We have four museums in town. I tell people that per capita we have more museums than any other town in Illinois. But it's a chance for people to experience not only a Swedish Christmas, but a 1850s rural Christmas that you don't normally see in our day-to-day lives.
Todd Decker, thanks so much for joining us. We do appreciate it. Still to come, a marketplace that's rejuvenating a part of the cities. But first, here's Laura Adams with some great ideas if you're thinking of going out and about.
This is Out and About for November 11th through 17th. Moline's Viking Club is the venue for the O'Leary Band hosting a Deployed Soldiers fundraiser on November 11th. Plus, it's time for the 15th Annual Holiday Shopping Expo in Geneseo at the Masonic Lodge November 16th. Or get a head start on your holiday shopping during Gilda's Club's first Harvest and Holiday Vendor Fair on the 16th. Join the Quad Cities Hash House Harriers for a trivia night benefiting Dress for Success at the Marathon Building in East Moline on the 15th. On stage, Circa 21 presents The Favorite, Elf the Musical, and the Adler Theater hosts Chris Christopherson and the Strangers on November 13th. Plus, Mannheim Steamroller Christmas Tour on the 14th. Zion Lutheran Church in Clinton presents the Vox Femina River Choir Fall 2019 concert on the 17th at 3 p.m., while the Black Box Theater in downtown Moline present the hysterical comedy by Clay and Nate Sander, Loser's Bracket, opening on the 15th. A comedic romp into the world of fantasy role-playing is on stage at the Bruner Theater in She Kills Monsters, opening the 14th. And the Quad City Music Guild Youth Chorus present their fall concert on the 17th at the Music Guild. There's still time to catch Richmond Hills Players' production of the Southern Fried slapstick comedy, A Double-Wide Texas Christmas, and Playcrafters Barn Theater present the classic thriller Prescription Murder, closing on the 17th. For more information, visit wqpt.org.
Thank you, Laura. We're always looking to feature original music from local musicians. Charlotte Boyer is one of them. Still a high school student, Charlotte came to the Black Box Theater in Moline to perform one of her original works. So here's Charlotte Boyer with Free Like a Bird.
Whoa, wouldn't it be nice if I could fly? Because I'd be the bravest bird in the sky. Whoa, I'd be free from all of my pain. Whoa, I'd be free to fly away. As I see the little children playing in the street, they all look so young, wild and free. That was exactly what I wanted to be. Live all my days young, wild and free. And now that I am free, I can spread my wings. No, there is no worrying for me. I feel like I'm a little kid again. Don't worry, my friend, I'll see you again. But just promise me you'll always give and love. Now you should follow this promise, it isn't tough. And I'll tell you this, you got to learn to love. See, you got to learn to give to those who got it rough. Now I'm sorry, friend, this is my time to go. Yeah, I've already told you all you need to know. Whoa, wouldn't it be nice if I could fly? Because I'd be the bravest bird in the sky. Whoa, I'd be free from all of my pain. Whoa, I'd be free to fly away. Yeah, I am free, I am free, I am free just like a bird. I am free, I am free, I am free just like a bird. I am free, I am free, I am free just like a bird. I am free, I am free, I am free just like a bird.
Charlotte Boyer with Free Like a Bird. An area just west of downtown Moline, rich in Latino culture. Now it's celebrating that in new ways as the popular Mercado on 5th Market becomes something much bigger. And joining us is the new director of Mercado on 5th, Melissa Friedhoff-Rogers. And we got to point out the founder of Mercado. We get to see Bob Ontiveros. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Jim. This is my pleasure.
Tell me about the vision. This is, we were talking earlier, this is 4 years of Mercado being in existence.
Well, Jim, 10 years ago when I retired, I had something to do to keep me busy. So what I did was I built the, what do you call it, the community health center. And I bought all the property around there to develop other things. And one of it was going to be the Mercado. And of course, that was the lawn area that we use the Mercado now, but that was 10 years ago, and nothing happened until Maria came.
Your daughter?
Home, my granddaughter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, really. Maria's my granddaughter. She came back from her trips overseas and was looking for something to do. And I said, Maria, the Mercado is just a vision that I had 10 years ago. And she took it over, and away it went.
We're talking about some prime real estate, too, if you think
Yes,
about it, and an area that we saw a decline. I mean, when
Right.
elementary school closes down,
Right.
that's terrible for a neighborhood. You've really tried to find a way to revitalize.
Well, one of the things was I grew up there. I went to Erickson School. It's 78% Latino, so I actually had the culture there to help things grow. So if I could help that culture, and what they all like is food. And let me tell you something, and that's what the Mercado brought. And I think Melissa will be able to talk more about that.
And let's start with that. You're the new president. Congratulations.
I'm actually the new director.
Director, I'm
Maria's
sorry.
the
I'm sorry.
president,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sorry.
I didn't lose my job, Jim.
Oh, I keep pushing you guys out of position. You're right, the new director. Tell me
Yes.
about
Yeah.
what your position is right now and what your vision is.
So the vision, my position was created to kind of respond to the tremendous growth that Mercado has experienced. So we need some more organizational, logistical procedures developed, and then really to help foster the businesses as they grow. We, Bob and Maria, launched over 20 minority-owned businesses since the start of Mercado. And so these businesses are growing into brick and mortar stores even. So they need some support and assistance along the way, and kind of with my background, I'm really able to help them achieve those goals.
Because in a way, I mean, I really want to underline this, that it's so much more than just a market.
Oh my gosh,
Not
yes.
just a market, but you know what I mean.
Yes, we have three main parts of the mission. We have an educational component, so bringing enrichment activities to the neighborhood for families to enjoy, and the children. We also have the cultural pride, bringing Latin cultural music and acts and dancing to the neighborhood to foster that pride in the neighborhood and community. And then our support for entrepreneurs. Really, we're a platform in working with a bunch of different organizations in the community for launching these businesses.
Well,
taking
and
those
Bob, I
steps.
mean, you've been so incredibly successful with Grupo and the businesses that you have been able to foster, to grow. Do you see yourself giving back in the community? This is the way of saying, hey, fellow Hispanic people or people throughout the community, it's doable.
Yes, it is, and it really, we've seen so much of that growth because they are entrepreneurial. As you notice, immigrants, they don't come and just want to get on welfare or whatever. They start making food at home, selling their tamales and enchiladas out of their home. This gave them a vehicle to do that. And now, with all the growth and success of the Mercado, we're going to take it to a next step. And Maria and Melissa are planning on Mercado maybe traveling to East Moline.
Interesting.
So it's kind of interesting. I'll let her tell more about that.
Well, before we do that, I do want to talk about that. There is also a proposal of actually more of a permanent structure, more
Yes.
of a, almost like a park-like community pedestrian setting.
Yes, Maria has applied for a grant. She's hoping, well, she did get part of a grant. I don't know if it's public, is it?
We're
But-
hoping.
It is now.
Yeah, it is now. But she did hear back from the state of Illinois that there will be in January be an approval for a partial grant.
Okay.
And that was to buy the building next to us and make that into a year-round Mercado. So yes, that's part of the growth that we're expecting.
And those who don't know, Mercado just simply means marketplace.
Market, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Market.
So the fact that it's going to become more of a permanent visual area on the west side of downtown Moline, as Bob was saying, that
Yes.
you're not going to be necessarily tethered to that. You do want to spread the
Right.
good, positive messages throughout the community.
Yes, since it started, the first year of Mercado, it hosted 2,000 people. This last season that we just wrapped up hosted 20,000. So really, an expansion is, we're looking to expand and just accommodate the large number of people. It's really resonated with the community, you know, the kind of Latin culture feel and the energy, it's vibrant. So it's all kinds of people are coming. So yes, we're looking at having a permanent structure that would also function as a Latin cultural community center in our area, so that we could use for expanded activities and programming.
And this really, I mean, you're talking about total family involvement. You're looking for getting children involved all the way to
yes.
entrepreneurs.
I think it's probably the only event in the Quad Cities where it's diverse and it's inclusive. You see so many generations, from tiny babies to older people, and even in wheelchairs. So it's and all kinds of cultures, and it's really just become a destination, a foodie and cultural destination for the Quad Cities.
Well, Bob, you said more than 10 years ago you had this vision.
Right.
Is it working out the way you thought the vision? I mean, is it beyond what your
Beyond my
expectations?
expectations, yes. It's really wonderful because when you look and watch the Ballet Picolorio perform, and we brought in all these other Hispanic groups, whether they're dancers or singers or what have you. We brought in talent from around the United States to sing, to provide music. It's been just an experience, and you can watch them coming every Friday night. Their grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, and all the kids. It's a family atmosphere, and it's safe. It's a safe environment. When we first started, we had a committee that said, well, you got to have police, you got to have this on each end. Police, first year after the police, they said, well, we don't need to be here. This is a family event. And they're true. We haven't had, knock on wood, any problems. It's been just dynamite as far as.
You take a look at the Flesante neighborhood,
right.
And like you said, Erickson School being
right.
there, such a vital part, and once that was gone,
right.
that neighborhood did start falling apart in many ways 20 years ago.
Yes, it did.
And then a little bit of crime, houses that were becoming abandoned. It was becoming a tougher area.
Yes.
Really a transformation right now.
It really has, but because of that, the Mercado, I should say it right, brought in all the nonprofits. John Deere's Global Community helped. Habitat for Humanity. We had Paula Maris Group. We had and the old Erickson Group, what do they call themselves? Esperanza Center. All these people contributed to our success because they were providing services. And it was really just vibrant. It's just, when you go there, you just get excited. Larry or Terry, what's his name, the Native American?
Oh, Rudy Vallejo.
Rudy, he puts up his tent every Friday night and gives the kids a lesson on the Native American culture, which is really, so we're trying to be inclusive.
And I did want to talk about that as well, but let me mention that. I mean, this is more than just a celebration of Hispanic culture.
Yes,
Right.
We've partnered with over 30 nonprofits. We have over 10 educational partners that come in and bring activities. So there's so many different things. It's food, it's culture, it's a networking kind of platform for other services in the community. And yeah, it's hard to describe in just a small.
Right, exactly, absolutely.
Yes, it's a lot of things.
Is it growing? I mean, what do you see as the future? I mean, it's becoming, I don't want to say more inclusive. That means it wasn't inclusive before.
Yeah.
But you're expanding in different ways.
Sure. So we see that as just continuing more year-round programming. We're expanding our partnerships with Quad City Arts to bring different cultural acts to the Quad Cities. So we kind of see us just going year-round as an expansion and bringing these things that the Quad Cities is really ready to receive.
Well, and Bob, the Mercado is just part of an expanded dream that you have also of developing Hispanic businesses. I mean, you're one of the founders, if not the founder, of the Quad City, the Hispanic Quad City Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
That is also a very interesting organization as well, because
And growing.
very much so, and that's what I wanted to underline, is that you don't want Hispanics just talking to Hispanics.
Right, not at all. And the idea that when I did retire was I had attributed my success with Group O. We belong to 16 national Hispanic chambers around the country, from Denver to San Antonio to Atlanta, all over, wherever we had corporate accounts that gave us business, we had support from that local Hispanic chamber. So I thought, wow, when I retired, we don't have one in the Quad Cities. I've got to do something. So I started the Greater Quad Cities. And the first year, we had numerous high-profile speakers come. The second year was even more. And it brought such pride, and a lot of the small businesses started to join. And now we have more of the corporate culture that want to join, that want to do business with the Hispanic community, whether you're an insurance company, whether you're a healthcare company, electric company, they all want to come after that growing market, which is the youngest and the fastest growing. So we've recognized that, and it's been so wonderful to see that chamber grow. And
Well, and let's be honest, I mean, the businesses are changing too, because we're seeing a transformation, because you brought it up, the preparation of Mexican food perhaps in somebody's house is
Right.
where they started.
Right.
Then you become a small business person.
Right.
Are you seeing the transformation into the medium-sized business and
Very much so.
the very successful Group O's of the world?
yes, sir, we have. One of us is Patty, like,
Yes.
might talk about that.
Yes, she started as just a tent vendor with a food stand, and she graduated to a food truck, and now she'll be opening a brick and mortar store in East Moline later this year. So
Right.
that's
And
an amazing thing.
And it's just part of the learning, the educational part of it, and the cooking that Maria started
Yes.
Out of Blackhawk
sure.
College. What was it called?
So many supports were developed because of Maria and Bob to help those entrepreneurs. You know, there was a food manager license that is taught, the class is taught at Blackhawk College in Spanish to make it more accessible. So those are the kinds of things, the SBA at Western Illinois, they've been a very important part in doing workshops and kind of giving people that, you know, just boost they need to make that first step. So all of
Right.
that, it's really become kind of a entrepreneur ecosystem in the community.
Right.
But the other thing also, and getting back to Mercado, I guess, is the fact that you want to make it more of a year-round.
Yes,
That's our goal.
Yeah, a year-round
Yeah.
event. You got the Mully Cook-Off, of course, coming
Yes.
up. But what else do you have coming up that almost kicks off the winter season as well as the spring?
Well, we have a very exciting partnership in January. We're partnering with the Quad City Symphony in bringing the music of Coco to the Adler Theater. So we're bringing in our Mercado vendors. We'll have face painters, art there. So kind of making it an overall experience for people that visit the Symphony that day.
And then, once again, the marketplace is going to be opening up come spring?
Yes, our opening date will be May 22nd of next year.
it seems so long
but
from
we're
now.
trying to have a monthly event because we had such
Yeah.
tremendous momentum and everyone's missing it. So we're trying to create those events for the community to enjoy until we open in May. Yes.
The demand has been great. They keep
has.
saying, we need you. Open. Yeah, so.
That's
we're
pretty
pushing.
nice.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. We've
Bob
outgrown-
Ontiveros.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
Melissa
Jim.
Friedoff-Rogers, congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome as the
you.
director, not president.
Yes, director,
and
not
president with grandchildren.
Yes, thank you. Thank you,
I
Jim.
appreciate you both being here.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you so
Good
much.
luck,
Thank you so much.
indeed.
That was great.
WQPT has a commitment to military families in the cities. We call it Embracing the Military. And Quarters 1 is opening its doors to a holiday historic tour. What was once the second largest residence in the federal government, only the White House is bigger, it is now open and fully decorated for the season. Tours will be held December 1st from noon until 2 in the afternoon. You can call the Leisure Travel Office in Building 333 to make your reservation. On the air, on the radio, on the web, and on your mobile device, thanks for taking some time to join us as we talk about the issues on the cities.
A proud supporter of this program, Riverbend Food Bank's vision is a hunger-free Iowa and Illinois.
Whelan Presley Funeral Home and Crematory has been serving Quad City families since 1889. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes are located in Rock Island, Milan, and Reynolds and are proud supporters of WQPT.